Thank you so much for joining the webinar today on how to bid on the apprenticeship and associated training framework. Obviously, we're redoing this because of technical problems last time, so I really do apologise for that. It couldn't be helped, unfortunately, but hopefully, fingers crossed, touch wood, that this one will go absolutely swimmingly today and there'll be no problems. So, just to introduce myself, and also you'll see Sean Cantrell as well with me today. So I'm Charlotte Kennett. I'm the category buyer at YPO, and I primarily do the apprenticeships and associated training framework. And then I've also got Sean with me. Sean, do you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, of course, yeah. So my name's Sean. My official title is Further Competition Coordinator, but I just help Charlotte out with managing the framework, answering any questions that anyone has.
Yeah, fab. So I'm just going to go through the agenda, and just before that, actually, you have all joined in listening mode only. So if you've got any questions, there is like a Q&A box that you can put your questions in, and then at the end of the webinar, we will go through those questions. And if we don't, we'll send a Q&A document out after, but we probably will get through majority of the questions today. So the webinar agenda, I'm just going to do a little bit of an introduction of YPO, and sorry if I'm repeating myself from the previous webinar that I did. However, I just thought just be easier just to go through it all again. Then I'm going to go through a background of the framework, how to register on the YPO E-tender Portal, and that's a bit what we got to last time. Selection and mandatory questionnaire, quality and price assessment, and obviously the benefits of being a provider on the framework as well. So a little bit about YPO if you don't know. So YPO is a public buying organisation similar to ESPO and CCS, Crown Commercial Services, and we basically supply products and services to a wide range of customers. Yeah, and that includes things like schools, local authorities, charities, emergency services, and kind of any public sector within the UK. We're 100% publicly owned by 13 local authorities. So that basically means at the end of each year, all our profits go back into the public purse. A little bit about the framework. So we created the framework about 2 years ago. Well, it went live 2 years ago. So it started on the 1st of August 2018. We actually did like the contract end date as 31st of July 2020, but with the option to extend for a further 2 times 12 months. So we have extended it for the first 12 months, and it is likely to be extended for the second ones as well. The framework is open to kind of any public sector organisation. So yeah, local authorities, emergency services, blue light, housing, health organisations, charities and education. And I would say that we've got customers within each of those sectors that you can see on screen. So the framework structure. So what we kind of did 2 years ago is we realised that, you know, we wanted to build a framework that incorporated kind of everything a customer may need. So in this case, obviously, we're doing this for Devon, and we're wanting to obviously get you on as a provider onto the framework. So we created an overarching framework at the top, and it got split down into regions because not all providers can deliver within every single region. So each region, and then within the region, there's a route. So that is obviously supplied by the Institute for Apprenticeships. So things like your agriculture, your business admin, those are the routes that we kind of defined as well. So we kind of copied them just to make it simple for everyone to use. And then within each route, there's the standard. And then under the standards, there's the providers. And that's how you will bid on the framework. So you'll bid for the region that you want to supplying, and then obviously the route and the standard, and you'll be the provider underneath. What we do is every quarter we add the new standards that are added from the Institute for Apprenticeships. So the framework is constantly evolving, and you will need to bid for the new standards every time they're released. Obviously, we just need to make sure that you can deliver them. And yeah, it's just kind of a thing that we have to do for this framework specifically. Just to mention, we did do the framework under what's called the light touch regime. So we needed to make a solution that is flexible as possible, but also fair and transparent to both parties, so the customer and the provider. And this is enabled us to create such a flexible solution. There is the option for customers to do a direct award and further competition by using what we call the sub-criteria, which I will go through in the documents, the tender documents that you will be filling out. The procurement timetable. So as I said, we needed to make this solution really flexible, but also fair and transparent. Now, when we created the framework, we wanted to make sure everything was upfront with both customers and providers of when providers will be able to bid and when, you know, kind of each round will go live. So as you can see, we're currently in round 11. We created the documents in October. We then add the new standards that have been added by the Institute for Apprenticeships for approved for delivery 30 days before the end of the submission deadline. So as you can see, we've just last week added the new standards on the 1st of November, and then the submission deadline for round 11 is the 1st of December at 2 p.m. What we'll do then is we'll review all the submissions that have been put in place. We will evaluate them, and we'll likely to send them out around you know, the 5th of January 2021, just because of Christmas and obviously New Year as well. Then what happens is that round goes live in the February. So we give ourselves kind of 3 months to evaluate everything, get everything up to date, and the round goes live. So if there is something kind of urgent that you are wanting to put on the framework, it is always good to just check this timetable and make sure it fits within, you know, if you've got a customer waiting for that, just to get it in as quickly as possible. Unfortunately, there's no flexibility with this, so there's no fast track or anything that we can do, just because we have stated within the contract that we are doing it in this specific way. It is something that we may look to do in the new generation of the framework. However, at the moment, we have no leeway with this, so it is kind of very structured. Like you can see then, it opens round 12 straight away. So the actual procurement is open all the time. However, we've just got dates in place to make it as structured as possible for both you and the customer. So as you can see, we'll publish again on the 1st of February the new standards, and then the submission deadline will be the 1st of March 2021 at 2 p.m. And likewise, that round will not go live until the 1st of May. So it's always good to try and get the priority standards that you do want to come on the framework in as soon as you know that you're wanting to do that. So what I'm going to do now is, this is the bit where we struggled last time. I'm just going to show you through the Juneau system. This is the e-tendering portal that we use here at YPO, and it's where all the submissions and, you know, tender documents are kept. So yeah, I'm just going to run through that for you. So I will send the slides out after, so that you've got this link if you haven't already registered. So I've just gone onto the register page, just so you know what you're going to when you click onto it. So if you haven't already registered on Proactis Juneau, all you need to do is put your organisation name and email and continue registration. You fill out a few more questions, obviously put in a password and things like that, and then you've got an account. I have already got an account, so I'm just going to click log in here.
We can just see the slide still, Charlotte. I don't know if it's.
Oh, we cannot see it, sorry. I don't know. Is that there? Sorry. Thank you, Sean.
There we go.
I'll just go back to where what was that? Sorry, just going through that registration element again, the URL. So you will get to this page, and like I said, organisation name and email address there, and just continue to register on there. But like I say, I've already got an account. It is a account just made up due to I'm not a provider, unfortunately. So it's just with some couple of details here. Then I just press continue. Now what you'll do is you will get to this page, and this page kind of has a few different things. So in the top right hand corner, what you will do is just put in the reference number to this framework. So it is 833 and continue. You will then see that the apprenticeship and associated training is at the bottom. So this is kind of the workspace for apprenticeships and associated training. We'll just click on that, and it will come up with a few boxes and just a little bit of information. So the description about the framework, start date and end date, and then in this side here, the expression of interest window, you will see register interest in this opportunity. If you click that, it will then take you through to the workplace. Now what I've done is I've already registered this opportunity, so I'm just going to go back and show you how you can find it when you just log in normally without having to register interest. So you will automatically come to this page, and you will select YPO, and you will then just put in the number again as 833. Then you will click the apprenticeship and associated training element of it, and you'll get to this page. Now it will say that your expression of interest has been accepted, and then on this bit it will say round 11. Always make sure it's the round that's the newest as such. It will always say draft until you have submitted, and you can see there that it says the respond by date is the 1st of the 12th. Then you've got your messages on the right hand side. So if you ever wanted to contact YPO about any clarifications that you may have, you can just click on there and create a clarification. We always have deadlines of when we have the clarification deadline and when YPO need to get a response back to you as well. And these are within the tender documents that we'll show you in a little while. So you just open this element of it. And you will come to this screen. So what happens is, obviously Sean's details are down here. So if you have any questions or you need anything urgently from Sean, his email address is on there alongside his phone number. The submission deadline reminder is here. So as of today, we've got 3 weeks, 5 days and 3 hours left. And then the next element of it is this, your response. Now it will say draft on here. However, if you haven't opened the round 11 previously, it will probably say just your response document. And on here as well, it will say start your response and not view draft response. However, if you came out of the submission, this particular screen, it will go to draft response. So we'll just click view draft response. Now, if we scroll down to this element of the page here, what you can see is there's 2 sections that need filling in. Now, the selection questionnaire is a mandatory thing that we always need to have. Now, this is quite, it's all about your organisation, and it's just a little bit of key points that we need to have really. So things like your trading status, just a little bit of information about your organisation, the bidding model, those sorts of things. It's quite lengthy, but once you've done it once, you don't need to do it again for the apprenticeship framework. It will automatically just pull through for the next round. Some questions are kind of like time bound. So if there is something that that says it needs just re-updating, what it will go is it will just have a red dot. However, there's kind of just one or two information things that will need answering. Like it says here, there is obviously the key. So green obviously means that you've provided a full response and it's complete. Orange is the answer has been automatically populated from a previous answer, but it must be reviewed before the submission. And then obviously red is something that you haven't completed as of yet. So this form does look like pretty long, but like I say, once you've done the form, you shouldn't need to do it again for any other standards that you are wanting to provide. Once you have completed that, the progress bar will go up. So I think it goes in like an orange colour. And then once you've completed it, all the bars will literally turn orange. So as you can see at the moment, it's only 2% complete. So you always know if you've not completed it fully as such. Now this bit is probably the most important bit of the tendering. So it's the answer questions and individual standard documents. So all we do is click edit button and answer question. Then you can see a range of documents here. So I'm just going to go through them. So the main tender particulars document. So this is a document that explains every single detail about the framework. So if you need any understanding of the framework, it is all in this main tender particulars document. The second document on there is the framework agreement. So the framework agreement is obviously the contract between YPO, sorry, and the provider. So this will need to be signed and returned back to us once you've been accepted onto the framework. So it's always good just to check through that and kind of the terms and conditions of what are included. Within that document, it also shows you the call-off terms and conditions, and obviously those are between the provider and the customer. And these will need to be signed and returned, and obviously countersigned by both parties to make the contract, legal kind of thing and in play. The next document I'm going to go to is the Apprenticeship Lot Breakdown. So this gives you basically an overview of every single standard we've got on the apprenticeship framework, and what kind of the regions and the lot numbers that it's associated with. Appendix B is the pricing schedule. So for every standard that you're bidding for, we need the pricing schedule for each of those. So the pricing schedule is really kind of simple to understand. It just says we need a breakdown and kind of a total cost at the bottom. Now the first one is based on one apprentice, and then as you scroll down, it's based on kind of 5 to 10 apprentices, 11 to 20, etc. So I don't know, does the price go down and reduce as you have more apprentices on board? Appendix C is all about the provider. So it's a little bit of information for the customer. So if they are not aware of you as a provider prior to seeing you on the YPO framework, then they can have a look and see just a little bit of company overview, where you're based, your previous experience in apprenticeships and those sorts of things. So it just gives them a little bit of a snapshot before they might ring you or anything on that. The next one is the apprenticeship 4-year timetable. Now, like I mentioned earlier, we had set out the rounds. So each round you can find when the deadline is in this particular document, when you'll need to submit by, when the round goes live, those sorts of things. So it's always good to have this document just in case you want to add more providers, more standards in the future. Then we have the you'll see we have a zip folder for every single route that is supplied by the Institute for Apprenticeships. Now, if I just click in one of those, I might need Sean to just tell me you can see it. Can you see that, Sean?
Not yet, no.
Oh.
Still see the Juneau page.
Just gonna stop sharing. Okay, can we see that now?
There we go. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, fab. So what you'll do is once you click on the zip folder here, what you'll find is this document will open, and within business and administration you will find all the standards relating to that particular route. Now each of these are obviously tender documents, so you will need to fill in a tender document for each of the standards you are bidding for. Now there are 17 questions within this document, and the 17 questions, some are, some are questions that you could probably copy and paste, so it's just about your organisation and things like that. However, the other ones are kind of more specific to that specific standard you're bidding for. So there's things in there about learner satisfaction, the delivery models that you can deliver on. There's quite a range of different questions that you can answer, but the 17 questions need to be answered. And then if you're also an EPA or you do that as an integrated degree, there's 3 questions at the bottom for the EPA element of it as well when you open that document. So I'm just going to go back to my other screen. I'm really sorry I have to do this way. So there is all the documents there that you need to upload. Once you have got an upload, completed the documents, all you need to do is add attachments, and then all the attachments will come on, and then just save and close, and that is basically it. Now what you can see is if we go back a step, the progress bar will come up and say, yeah, you've uploaded some attachments, you're ready to go. And click back again. And then once you have completed the progress bars, you will be able to see that these will go green, submit your response, and literally what you're able to do is just submit response there. And that is basically it on the system. What you will do is once you have submitted your response, like I said, we will send the submission, successful and unsuccessful letters. In this case, if you're bidding for round 11, we'll be able to submit it for, submit the successful and unsuccessful around about the 5th of January, for then it to go live on the 1st of February as well. So that's kind of the system and everything. I'm just going to go back to my slide. If there's any questions on that, please use the quick question and answer box at the top, and then you'll be able to see, we'll be able to answer any questions that you may have. Now, the benefits of being a provider on the framework. So obviously we know that Devon are really keen to get you on as a provider. However, there's a much more bigger aspect to this as well. So we are a national framework, and like I said previously, we have got quite a few customers on board. So not just from the local authority arena, it's kind of emergency services and police, you know, and charities, housing associations. We've kind of got a mixture of sectors. Also, it allows, you know, small businesses to join, and we're local provider friendly as well. There's the direct award and further competition functionality. So, you know, this is a real benefit, I believe, in this framework. Is some customers only have one apprentice to go through, and they don't want to be doing kind of a further competition just for one apprentice. So the direct award functionality on this framework is very attractive. And I would say, you know, the majority of the awards are direct award. Marketing element of this. So what we do is we market providers. So if you've got any case studies or articles or blogs, you know, a blog that's, you know, something of interest right now within the market, please send them through to us. We can share them via LinkedIn, Twitter. We've got newsletters to every single sector. You know, so it's really good to get out there and things like that. We're also here to support. So if there's anything that's going wrong, or, you know, you may have any questions or anything at all, we're always here for that. We kind of act like the middleman, but we're here to support both the provider and customer as well. So, like I mentioned, the framework is always evolving. I think we started with something like 200 and something standards, and now we've got 500 and odd. So it's, you know, it's constantly evolving. The standards are getting added, quite a few. I thought it would slow down, but it doesn't seem to have done. I think we're still getting around 30 new standards a quarter being added. So yeah, it is constantly evolving, but it also gives you the chance to add to your portfolio. And I've just said that with the bottom note. So yeah, the ability to add for providers to add to their portfolio on the framework. So, you know, this time around you might only put on the 2 standards that are priority. However, you know, the next round you can put on another 2, or whatever it may be, whatever you feel comfortable with, you know, it's there. If there are a range of standards that you do provide, I would say it's always good to get them on there. However, we can tell you kind of some intelligence behind that. So, you know, our customers wanting that particular standard through the framework and those sorts of things, we can get some intelligence with that. And if we can also send you obviously the list of customers we've got on board once you've been accepted. So yeah, anything that you may have, just please let us know. Any questions?
We've also got a list of standards that Devon want prioritising, so we could send that out to all the providers as well. Yeah,
absolutely. We also do, like, if there's some intelligence about not having a provider on one particular standard, we can send you that information. So obviously there's a niche market for these standards, and we want to make sure that, you know, if there's a high demand with customers wanting that particular standard, that, you know, providers may think, actually, I deliver something similar to that, we could deliver that as well. So we are here just to advise and you know, make the most out of that as well. So yeah, anything from you, Sean? Anything I've missed?
I don't think so. You've covered most things there. If anyone's got any questions, they can always drop us an email. And
yeah, so at the below is this is our email address. So apprenticeships at ypo.co.uk. Sean does man the inbox, so you will get a response like fairly quickly, to be fair. We don't take any longer than 24 hours to respond, so we do make sure that inbox is cleared and everything, all answers have been answered. But if you've got any questions now, I'm happy to take some. I don't think there is any, if I'm honest. Might be wrong though. No. I'll wait a couple of minutes just to see if there is any. But I think that is it. Hope that's been really useful for you as well. But yeah, like we said, and we keep saying, if you have any questions at all, please don't hesitate to contact us as well. So if not, I think we have no questions. So thank you we do. Fabulous. Great. I'm glad it's been really helpful for you. So yeah, like I said, if you've got any questions, please just give us an email. That's great. Thank you very much. And on that note, I think that's it. So thank you so much for attending. We really appreciate it. And like I say, I'm really sorry for the previous IT failure. But I hope this has been really useful. Thank you.
Thanks, everyone. Bye.